Happy Halloween, guys. We got Monday Night Football to talk about. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Still got big money up top, $500,000 to first. So before we get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. Again, we'll be talking about the NFL Showdown slate here. I also cover content for NBA DFS as well as Prize Picks. Prize Picks, they are the sponsor of this video. Prize Picks is a player prop site. They have player props up for Monday Night Football. How it works is you pick 2, 3, 4, up to 5 player props, and you can win up to 10 extra money. You can mix and match sports. They have a lot of different sports. All of the sports are up top here. So if you guys want to give it a try, make sure to use the code DKDFS. That'll give you a 100% match up to $100, a free $100 to play with on the site. And if you guys are looking for more in-depth content, you can check out my Patreon linked down below. All right, so let's recap my lineup here from the Showdown slate tonight. And it was, it was a good showdown for me, a 3x night, but could have been a massive night. A Devin Singletary on the last drive for the Bills broke free. He got tripped up there, but oh man, if he broke free for that touchdown, I probably would have been right at the top of the leaderboard here. But yeah, Romeo Doubs and the captain, that worked out in a big way. I was surprised how low owned he was for his price point. So he smashed. I just ate the chalk on Allen and Diggs. They both smashed. I did play a low owned Rodgers. He was fine. Singletary started off hot, kind of cooled off, and then Dusty Sammy Watkins did what Dusty Sammy Watkins does. Get him out. How is he still in the league? He can't even get open. Whatever. And then, yeah, so I was tilted about the Singletary thing. And then also really tilted. Packers are down 3 scores, and they're just grounding and pounding Aaron Jones. Like, what are we doing here? You guys are just giving up. You're waving the white flag. Like, they just ate up so much time grounding and pounding Aaron Jones. You have to air it out. What are you doing? I was tilted because I didn't have Aaron Jones, and I had the whole passing attack. I'm like, why are we just doing that? So made no sense there from the Packers to do that. But yeah, overall, still a really solid night for me. So I'm going to keep it going here for this Monday night slate. All right, Cincinnati. We'll start off here. Again, it's a 45 or under, and the Bengals are 3-point favorites. So Joe Burrow, top 11.4K. Definitely the quarterback you're going to feel better about on the slate with him and Jacoby Brissett. He's a guy that has a pretty high ceiling. We've seen him from him in the last couple games. I will say last 2 games are probably outlier games. Normally, he's probably going to average, high teens to low 20s fantasy points. So I do think Burrow's like the safer of the 2 quarterbacks. The price point is a little high, but no issue if you want to go there. Joe Mixon's 9-4, so he's still playing, majority of the game here for the Bengals. He hasn't been super efficient with his touches, but 49 of the 68 snaps, he's usually hovering in that, again, 70-75% of the snap range. 17 carries, 3 catches, and 3 targets. He is involved in the passing game. I have absolutely no issue with Joe Mixon. So relatively safe play there. T. Higgins feels like a flat-out misprice here, especially, again, no Jamar Chase, right? Jamar Chase being out is massive. So their clear number 1 wide receiver is out, and there is a lot of targets to go around. So T. Higgins should be operating as the wide receiver 1. He looks phenomenal here at $8,000. Tyler Boyd does get a pretty significant boost as well. He's only 6.4K. I think he looks really good. He will operate as number 2 wide receiver. So both Bengals wide receivers look really good. The only downside is they're going to be very popular in tournaments, but I'm fine eating that chalk. Hayden Hurst, we kind of know what we're getting out of him. He's still playing a good amount of the game. He's their clear pass catching tight end, played 42 of the 68 snaps, ran a route in 35 of those. So when he's on the field, he's basically running a route. 6 catches on 8 targets, and he could see a few more targets as well. I don't mind going to Hurst. P. Ryan is the backup running back. Unless you think something happens to Mixon, I have a hard time getting to P. Ryan. Again, he played 20 of the 68 snaps, so not awful, but feels a little bit pricey right now. McPherson's one of the better kickers in the league. I think he's a decent value, as I do most of the time with kickers in the Showdown slate. Bengals defense 4-2, more of a contrarian play for me. And then we got to talk about Mike Thomas. So not Michael Thomas on the Saints. This is Mike Thomas on the Bengals. He's only 1.2K. Now, I don't know if he's going to be that popular here, but the good thing about the Bengals is like they just run like their top 3 guys like the entire game. So when one guy goes down, it's just Mike Thomas has been operating as a wide receiver before. When someone goes down, he just fills in. They don't like have like a mix behind the wide receivers like 3, 4, 5. It's just like Mike Thomas. So he should be operating as wide receiver 3. I expect him to play a good amount. So last game you saw Jamar Chase played 63 to 68 snaps. T. Higgins played 57, and then Tyler Boyd played 51. So you should see those snaps go up a bit for Higgins and Boyd. And then you should see Mike Thomas play a lot more. He only played 13 snaps, but he's a guy that I think will be a decent value play. You also saw Trent Taylor play 13 snaps, but I think Mike Thomas would be the cheap option I would go to. Again, the number 4 receiver technically will be Trent Taylor, $200. I feel more confident in Mike Thomas. I'm just more confident in his snaps. But if you wanted to take a dart throw on Taylor, you could. Backup tight ends, not much here. Mitchell Wilcox played 26 snaps, ran a route in 10. He is $800. I think I'll just rather play Mike Thomas at a similar price. I'm moving on to the Cleveland side. So I am ready for more pain here because the chumps on the Showdown slate run so hot. They need to be punished here. Need to be punished. For running back that is in a timeshare with Kareem Hunt, need to be punished. If Chubb finds the end zone multiple times tomorrow, I'm going to be on full tilt mode. So Nick Chubb, 10-4. I'm not saying he's a bad play. What I'm saying is he's going to be overowned. He's basically touchdown dependent at this price point, right? No real involvement in the passing game, averaging like 1.5 targets a game. Not great for a running back. So for a guy that's getting about half the snaps, right? If you look at last game, you saw Chubb play 31 snaps. Kareem Hunt played 30. Dearness Johnson played 9. So, and that was, again, Johnson saw snaps at the end there because the game was a massive blowout. But if the Browns fall behind early, like if the Bengals get off to a 2-touchdown lead, they can phase out Chubb a bit. So he's one where ownership will probably be inflated just because people love playing Nick Chubb. And I'm not saying not to play him. It's just at this price point, he needs to find the end zone really to pay off that salary. So if you want to fade a relatively popular Nick Chubb, I don't think it's the worst idea. You could look to Kareem Hunt, who I think is the better play in GPPs we'll talk about. Jacoby Brissett, game manager, and he'll be pretty low owned just because he hasn't really put up a big game yet. He does have like a little bit of rushing upside. I think he's an okay contrarian option. Obviously, again, Burrow is going to be much more popular. Amari Cooper, 7-6, so I would like rather take a shot on him in tournaments over Nick Chubb. He is their clear wide receiver 1. You know, he's been a little bit up and down, but the ceiling is very clearly there. So I do like Cooper a good amount there for GPPs. And then Kareem Hunt. So the touches haven't been great on him. 4 carries here, 5 carries here, 1 catch on 2 targets. But I'm not super worried about it. He's still, out there about half the game, and he is their pass catching running back. So if they fall behind, they'll use Kareem Hunt more. 5.6K. I like him. I like him a lot more than Nick Chubb. But like I said, I am ready for pain because the Chubb chumps, they run so hot. He'll get 3 touchdowns. Donovan Peoples-Jones is 5K. He's a fair value play. He actually played more than Amari Cooper last game. He played 61 of the 70 snaps. 9, 7, 5, and 6 targets is not bad for a guy at this price point. So I think he's like a relatively safe option. Again, Cade York, kicker, totally fine. David Njoku's out for Cleveland, and then you have Pharaoh Brown banged up too. Harrison Bryant might be playing like a majority of the game here. At $4,000, I like him for value too. So he's a decent pass catcher. Again, he's been playing behind Njoku, so he hasn't really had a lot of opportunities, but I like him quite a bit at that price point. The Browns D, 3.8K, again, more of a contrarian option, but the defense rulers, how good they have run as well in the Showdown slate. David Bell's operating as the wide receiver 3, averaging like 1.5, 2 targets a game. Nothing more than a dart throw, in my opinion. And then that's basically it. If Pharaoh Brown's out too, they're probably going to have to call up one of these tight ends to be the backup tight end on the practice squad. So we'll keep an eye on that. But definitely Harrison Bryant is the guy that I like a lot there at tight end for Cleveland. So, hey guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for the video. Again, if you have been enjoying the NFL content, just make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you guys are interested in NBA DFS, you can check out my video breaking down the 7-game slate for tomorrow. So good luck, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.